Hi, and welcome back to the channel, or welcome to the channel if you are new here. I'm Sonny, this here is Kat, and we are watching Loki. This is episode 1 titled Glorious Purpose. That reminds me of a line or something that Loki said in Avengers when he showed up. I am Loki of Asgard, and I am burdened with glorious purpose. I'm sure it's a reference to that line. And this is really interesting. Like, we've been so excited for this series, like so many of you guys out there. And, we lost Loki at the beginning of Infinity War. And then with everything that happened in Endgame and them going back in time, and we saw there at the Battle of New York where something went wrong, he got his hands on the Tesseract and he just disappeared. So where did he go? That's what I'm really curious about. We haven't really seen that many trailers or clips or anything from the series, so we don't know much about it other than, of course, Loki's in it. Owen Wilson has some sort of role, and there's maybe going to be some more time travel hijinks stuff going on. And we also need to remember that this is not the Loki that we parted ways with in Infinity War. He has not been through all of that stuff. This is the Loki who was causing trouble in Avengers. So he's still more or less of a bad guy, perhaps?
He's definitely still mischievous.
Yes, he's still the trickster god, and that's only a good thing, because we love that character, and it's gonna be so cool to see like how they're gonna continue his story in a sense, and what he's going to get into, who he's going to meet. Do you have anything you want to mention before we start the episode?
I hope they don't delve too much into like Norse mythology, because it's wrong when they do it.
It's not the right mythology.
It's just gonna grind my gears a little bit if they're going too much into it, because
We'll see. One thing I have heard about this series is he's going to be more gender fluid.
Oh, yes!
In the series, which that actually aligns much more with the Norse mythology, where he could change into anything, any gender, and many of the gods did that. That was like a usual thing, right? So,
well, at least for Loki.
He
did that, and he even like changed himself into a mare and got pregnant and got an offspring or two. So.
Yes, and gave birth to the World Serpent as well, or something?
Oh, I can't. No, I think that was Amundgander.
Okay.
Or Amund, yeah.
Either way, we are ready to jump into this first episode and going to see where it's all going to go, what's going to happen. And you can, of course, always check out our full-length reactions where you can sync up the footage with your own copy of the episode. We also have early reactions for some of the shows that we're doing. It's all over on Patreon, and the link is down in the description below. And here we go.
Picking up right where we left.
Off, kind of? Yeah, we know what's gonna happen here. Enter Hulk. And he's gone. Nice intro. Just to get back into things.
But the music is different.
Yeah. And the logo.
The screen. Oh god,
yeah.
Chills. And they are probably multiplying.
Alright. Where does he end up?
Oh.
Mongolia. Oh. Hi.
I am Loki of Asgard, and I am burdened with glorious purpose.
There it is. What the hell?
Never mind. Don't touch that.
Variant identified.
I beg your pardon.
On behalf of the Time Variance
Oh.
Authority, I hereby arrest you for crimes against the sacred timeline.
Don't mess with time. Oh, they can just...
You're now moving at 1/16 speed.
Damn, that's cool. Nice decor.
What is this place?
Your little job. How you
Stop it. What the hell is that? That's kind of spooky.
Absolutely not.
Ah!
Now, hang on just a minute.
Please sign to verify this is everything you've ever said.
What?
Shouldn't that be like a bigger?
Sign this too.
Stop dropping me.
Please confirm to your knowledge that you are not a fully robotic being. We're born an organic creature and do in fact possess what many cultures would call a soul.
What? To my knowledge. Do a lot of people not know if they're robots?
Thank you for your confirmation. Please move through.
What if I was a robot and I didn't know it?
The machine would melt you from the inside out. Please move along, sir.
Great. Is that the equivalent of ticking the "I'm not a robot" box?
What's that?
Your temporal aura.
What's that?
Please through the door.
So many questions.
This is a mistake. I shouldn't be here.
Hi there. You're probably saying, this is a mistake. I shouldn't even be here. I'm Miss Minutes, and it's my job to catch you up before you stand trial for your crimes. Whatever it was, stepping off your path created a Nexus event, which left unchecked could branch off into madness, leading to another multiversal war.
Huh.
But don't worry. Just make sure you have your ticket, and you'll be seen by the next available attendant.
Great.
Timekeepers. The sacred timeline.
I tried to ask that guy for a ticket. Sir? What are you raising your voice with me, Buckethead?
Fuck. Make sure you have a ticket.
Don't hesitate to let us know how we're doing.
Whoa.
What the hell is this? So far, I am kind of confused, but very entertained.
Du säger kaffisa.
The devil.
Horns?
Don't worry, that devil's afraid of us. We're gonna take care of him.
How do you plead?
Madam, a god doesn't plead. Look, this has been a very enjoyable pantomime, but I'd like to go home now.
Are you guilty or not guilty, sir?
Absolutely not, you have the wrong person.
Oh, really? And who should we have?
I suspect the Avengers. You see, I only came into possession of the Tesseract because they traveled through time, no doubt in a last-ditch effort to stave off my ascent to God King.
That's quite an accusation.
No.
Oh, believe me, you can smell the cologne of two Tony Starks. You speak of time criminals? They you should be after.
What they did was supposed to happen. You escaping was not.
What?
He's trying to use his powers, ma'am.
Don't rush me. Damn it, why would it work?
The court finds you guilty, and I sentence you to be reset. Next case, please.
Reset?
What does that mean?
I'm gonna burn this place to the ground.
I'll show you where my desk is. You can start there.
Wow.
Now look.
Like it's a whole city? A whole world even, maybe?
That's not real.
It is, and unfortunately, so is all the paperwork. Good tinder for your fire, though. Come on.
This place is a nightmare.
That's another department. That department I'll help you burn down.
What, the nightmare department?
What?
Funny, for someone born to rule, you sure do lose a lot. I'd say it's in your nature. This is one of my favorites.
Something we haven't seen before?
Bourbon and soda.
Thank you.
Hello there.
Brother, Heimdall, you better be ready.
Oh! Oh no. All the money.
I can't believe you were D.B. Cooper. Come
Oh!
on.
I was young and I lost a bet to Thor.
What the hell?
I was just standing up to make a point.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Sure.
It won't be as meaningful now.
Okay, well, stay seated.
I'll do what I want to do.
Sure.
I know what this place is.
What is it?
It's an illusion. It's a cruel, elaborate trick conjured by the weak to inspire fear. A desperate attempt at control.
You finished? You're gonna start taking things seriously.
If you hadn't picked up the Tesseract, you would have been taken to a cell on Asgard.
Is he gonna show him what really happened?
And then the Dark Elves attack the palace, and you think you send them to Thor.
You might want to take the stairs to the left.
But instead, you send them...
Oh yeah. This is getting real.
Sorry, the Time Twister just loops you, not the furniture. You weren't born to be king, Loki. You were born to cause pain and suffering and death. All so that others can achieve their best versions of themselves.
You are not the hero of this story.
No.
Okay, Loki, I think we can finish up tomorrow and just pick it up.
Where the hell? Oh, he took...
Look, he can't have gotten very far.
Split up. Prune on site.
No, no pruning, no resetting. You can still
Prune?
help us.
Like, suck all the water out of him?
Give me the Tesseract or I'll gut you like a fish, Casey.
What's a fish?
What?
I don't know what a fish is.
What else is down there?
What?
Infinity Stones?
What the fuck? What?
How do you have these?
Oh, we actually got a lot of those. Yeah, some of the guys use them as paperweights.
What?
Well, if the magic doesn't work?
Well, yeah. It's...
Is this the greatest power in the universe?
Aw.
Oh, you almost hit me. Do not forgive you.
So that's pruning? What happened? Just delete things? Oh, is he gonna scroll ahead into...
Really?
I love you, my sons. Remember this place.
Oh, God.
Home.
Loki, I thought the world of you. I thought we were gonna fight side by side forever. You're here and I'll even give you a hug. I'm here.
Is he gonna see what happens to him?
Yep.
That's where it ends. Oh shit. Oh! Stop.
Stop it! And this guy kept saying he was going to turn me into a fish, whatever that is. And then they show up and just prune my cart, so there was nothing.
Okay,
I
so that
could
is
do.
pruning.
Yeah.
What the hell is going through his head?
I can't go back, can I? Back to my timeline. I don't enjoy hurting people. I do it because I have to, because I've had to, because it's part of the illusion. It's the cruel, elaborate trick conjured by the weak to inspire fear.
The desperate play for control.
You do know yourself.
Fugitive variant's been killing our Minutemen.
And you need the god of mischief to help you stop them.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Why me?
The variant we're hunting is you.
Oh!
Oh, yeah.
Just prune it, let's bail. Set a charge.
Wait. Someone's out there.
Okay, shit, that's brutal. All right. That was some first episode.
Yeah.
So intriguing. Holy shit.
Sorry.
I love the deep dive into like who Loki actually is. And even though they just told us that the person that they're hunting is Loki, they still decided not to show us in the end. So that makes me think it might be another version of Loki, or this version of Loki is going to be played by another actor or actress. Maybe, perhaps. But damn, that was really enjoyable. Like, I was glued to the screen the entire time. And I have no idea if there are any post-credit scenes, so we're just going to keep watching just a little bit. All right, no end credit scene. But that was episode 1, Glorious Purpose. And it was a lot of confusion at first, at least. Like, what the hell is going on? Who are these people? What is going on with timekeepers and the sacred timeline? And yeah, there was a lot of explanation there, of course. And I think it makes sense they're going to use the first episode to like really show us, tell us where we are, what's going to happen, what sort of story is this going to be, kind of. And then we had the setup at the end with, okay, this is why you are here. This is what you're going to help us with. This is maybe what this story is going to be about, at least right now. But there is also a lot of soul searching for Loki, just admitting to himself kind of who he is, what his role has been, what is this glorious purpose. And it basically just boiled down to, yeah, your purpose was you were the villain, and you were there to help others ascend, actually. Not yourself, but others. And those others probably being, the Avengers. Like, you're the reason why they banded together for all of this to happen. And he also saw that part himself with, yeah, this is where you end up as well. And this is what happens along the way. That was quite interesting to see how he sort of processed that.
Yeah, and he got to the point himself where he was like, yeah, I can't go back. Because now I know all of this, I'm just going to mess up the timeline. So if I come back like this, all of these things might not happen because I know of them and I want to, like, I think it's pretty innate, this feeling of wanting to change the trajectory of time.
Yeah.
If you can like apprehend the loss of someone that you love. So if he can do that, then he might fuck it up, and then that's why he's, and that's also what Mobius, Agent Mobius, he wanted all along, was just to get him to the point where he realizes, I can't be sent back at this point. I will just be reset or like pruned. So I will disappear. This version of me will disappear, but then he can actually do good by it or with it, or
Yeah, exactly. Him coming to that realization, knowing I'm gonna die, and you said it like a person will probably do everything in their power to prevent that, so he can never really go back to the sacred timeline, and Mobius wants his help to track down himself or another Loki, which is what we talked about there with why they didn't show us, might be because it's another version of Loki, but that was a nice little cliffhanger in a sense. So we have the setup now. And I just gotta say, Tom Hiddleston, he did a great job throughout this entire episode, balancing the humor and how lost he was at times, and the confusion, the anger, but also very emotional moment, when he was actually watching what happened to Frigga, what happens to himself, the surprise when the neck snapped with Thanos there killing him. That was some really good acting on his part. Like, you could really feel it. And we know, of course, that Tom Hiddleston is a great actor. So I was just, it's expected that, of course, he's going to be good in this. But it was just really good to see and how that character can still have a new story or a new trajectory, and we can use him in new and different ways, because even though he's always been a character that people have loved and loved to see, and he's been a villain several times and then sort of an anti-villain, and then he helped out and he sort of became a good guy in the end, but it was like, okay, what more can we do with this character? What more can they do with this character? And they definitely found a new and exciting way to use him, in a very creative way as well. Like, I'm not too familiar with this part of the comics and how it is with the timekeepers, and in general, I'm not a big fan of the whole, well, this is fate, this is how it's supposed to be, and you can never change your fate, and we're all just chugging along on our individual journeys that is set for us. Don't necessarily like the idea of that, but it's a fun thing to play around with story-wise, I think. But yeah.
And to think that he was only supposed to be the villain in one movie.
Yeah.
And then we got all of this.
Yeah.
I would say almost solely because Tom Hiddleston did such a great job, and he's like very charming, and he's such a good person, like in real life.
Yeah.
Very charming, very endearing personality, very welcoming and fun, and almost like the perfect human being.
I still remember, and I think this is like from when the MCU was still getting started, sort of, and after he was in Thor, and then I think they were getting ready for Avengers and talking about that at Comic-Con at Hall H, and he just stepped out in character, in costume, and got everyone to kneel, and it was just that was amazing. I remember that very well.
Yeah, I was thinking about the time where he was going at some event, and there was a guy that was supposed to interview him.
Mm-hmm.
And then he was just like, "It's so cold out here. Can you bring some soup?" And he was just like, "Sure. What kind?" And then he actually brought him soup, like a bowl of tomato soup, and he just said it like he didn't even suspect, like he was not expecting an answer or like him actually doing it, and it was just like a fun thing or whatever.
Yeah.
And he actually brought him soup.
That was a very nice thing to do. So in that way, Tom Hiddleston and Loki, very different there, but still his ability to be charming and likable is also, that comes from Tom Hiddleston, and he applies that to the role of Loki. And as you said, like that's a big reason why we've gotten so much of him, and he's been used again and again and again, and now he has his own series. Cannot wait to see what's gonna happen, and I'm quite jealous at all the reviewers out there who got the first 2 episodes and have already watched those, and we can only watch the first one. But it's also, and that's something we've discussed before on the channel, like we like this from week to week thing. We don't want them to drop all of it at once. We like to watch an episode and then, let it marinate for a week and think about it. Talk about it, look at theories online, and then of course watch the next one. So I don't even know what else to talk about per se. You have several things. All right. Yeah. A lot happened, and it's just difficult to keep it all in my head, at least. But you have a thing or two you want to mention.
Yeah, I just felt like this was very reminiscent of Men in Black.
Oh yeah, in that way.
And also with the humor, even the whole him getting to the TVA and the whole introduction and almost testing him and everything. It felt a lot like Men in Black. And I also shouted out Rick and Morty, because the whole thing with time.
And
how they ended up fucking with time and
multiverses. And Council of Ricks, or
Yeah.
But yeah, it actually did have a lot of that, you know, that vibe to it that we get from like the randomness and the what the fuck is going on here ness from Rick and Morty, and then also with Men in Black and the secret organization that's doing things and keeping an eye on the world, so to say, and well, not protecting us from aliens, but this is time related, but still in the same way. And Owen Wilson in that role as Mobius, really good.
Yeah, I haven't seen him for a while, but
No, me neither. But he's really good in that. Like he fits in very well, and the rest of the supporting cast as well. I think they did a pretty good job. And just the look of the place, like I like the look and the design of it. It has sort of a retro feel to it with a lot of the things, but then it is also very sci-fi fantasy like. And when they were walking there and looking out the windows and seeing the city or wherever they are, that actually gave me a little bit of a Cloud City vibe, just with the design and the way, or you know, just the whole way they were walking through. So yeah, just a lot of inspirations there, I'm sure.
yeah, I even got some Mass Effect, just a little bit, with, well, especially with the music there in the end, and also a little bit like this futuristic feel.
Yeah,
There was also I know it's a bit of a stretch, but I definitely got some Mass Effect. Don't know if it's on purpose, but I definitely got some of that. Also because we have someone keeping, like the Reapers and everything. Like it's supposed to happen. Like someone else, like
in
some
that way,
some entity is like controlling it. It has to happen.
Yeah, destiny, fate, and yeah, all of that stuff.
But we also had this whole plot set in motion with some version of Loki killing off agents of the TVA. We don't know the ultimate goal yet, I think, and how it's gonna play out or anything like that. Like we know very little of it. We just knew that that's gonna be like the main plot of this season at least.
Perhaps, yeah.
If they continue the whole thing. But it's when they were in that church in France, and the kid, he was like pointing towards that devil.
Oh yeah, and you said horns.
I said horns because we know that he's like his battle
outfit, or you know, yeah, his helmet. When
he got those horns, and it was kind of similar, and that's what I thought. Yeah, it's Loki, or some version of Loki. It's not the devil. It's too easy to just say it's the devil. No, I think because of the horns, it must be Loki. So I was not really surprised when they said, "Oh, it's Loki."
Yeah.
Like it was.
We need help catching. We need your help to catch you.
Yeah. So it's yeah. Of course, it's like there is a reaction to it. Yeah, definitely. But it was just like yeah.
Saw it coming a little bit, and also just thinking about the reasons why would Mobius want to treat Loki differently, like compared to anyone else? Why is he showing him this? What is the meaning of it? And that's what we found out in the end, just for Loki to get to the point where, okay, I'm not going to make a fuss because I know I can't go back to my own timeline. And him also realizing that with the Infinity Stones, that, okay, those things which are presumably the most powerful things in the universe, they don't even work here. So that must mean that the TVA is the most powerful thing in the universe. And Loki is kind of drawn to power. Yep. So him staying there and helping out, and it puts him in a powerful position, and he will be willing to go along with that. So I think, yeah, that was definitely Mobius' plan.
Yeah, so maybe it's a future version of Loki that is trying to get back to his own timeline, or at least trying to get back.
Yeah.
And he's trying to eradicate the TVA because they have too much power, and if he controls that, then he might actually go back, and he might actually not be stuck here in this.
Yeah, he can change his own course.
Yeah, exactly.
In the timeline, if the TVA isn't there anymore, and he kind of defeats fate, so to say. That it could go in many different directions, but I kind of feel like we're onto something here. We'll see next time around, definitely.
Yeah, but I just wanted to highlight one last thing.
Yeah.
I just thought about it because we were talking about this whole thing with him. This whole realization thing he went through, where he said some things about like how he used something he said earlier, like how fear is something that you use,
or how the weak uses fear to create the illusion of control.
Exactly. Or at least to assert some sort of control.
Yes.
And he actually turned it around at the end and said, like, well, it is me. I do this. Like, I instill fear in people to gain control. And I kill people to instill this fear.
Yes, because I have to, or I've had to do this, not because I enjoy hurting people. And yeah, the whole self-realization thing there.
Yeah, and he was
really like that.
Desperate for control. And I really like that whole thing where he started to try to use it on Mobius, and then he actually turned it around and used it on himself.
Yeah, he was projecting.
And maybe that was also a bit of foreshadowing in regards to like the plot. Like he was like, yeah, well, he's desperate for control at this point, or at least the rogue version of himself. Maybe that's why he went rogue. Or she, or that, or they went rogue. And it's just like the last it's just the last desperation to regain control of this whole situation. And I just thought it was a very nice little piece of
exactly
writing.
So a lot of introduction there to this new thing called the TVA, and then also a bunch of character development for Loki himself. So the way that they did that and kind of accomplished both of those. And kind of accomplished both of those things in this first episode. I think that was really well done.
And we got introduced to this whole thing with like timelines and everything. And we also got the little buzzword there, like multiverse.
Oh yeah.
And we know that there's going to be a multiverse of madness coming up. So is this kind of like the front, or like the front? No, not the front runner.
A prelude to that, or something?
Yeah, so is this like the segue into this whole, like the next step?
Yeah.
We know that like the whole WandaVision, it ended up with like probably also some threats into that. So is this whole multiverse thing, at least we learned a lot about the timelines in this one. So is this going to create this multiverse of madness that we're gonna see?
I don't know. Yeah, I feel like at least it's going to be a big thing going forward here in Phase 4 with, you mentioned it, both WandaVision. We know it's coming up in Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. We know there's going to be some multiverse stuff as well in Spider-Man, and now also here in Loki with time. So yeah, that's very likely. Very likely. But that's going to do it for this reaction and review of Loki Episode 1, Glorious Purpose. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you very soon. Bye.
Bye.